It's time for the Ericaism of the day. Many of you know I have a 13-year-old, Erica Campbell, my sweet baby girl. She's a teenager, officially in teenage years. Interesting time. Very challenging. She's somewhere stuck in the middle of not being a baby anymore, but not being grown. So somewhere in the middle of finding herself. And in the middle of that time are many thoughts and many emotions and many feelings. And sometimes what teenagers do is stick with other teenagers as opposed to sticking close to their parents. What me and Warren try to do is spend as much FaceTime with her as we can, asking her lots of questions about how she feels and why she feels that way, what she wants and desires, what she wants to be, you know, what she feels insecure about, what makes her afraid, what makes her stop and be shy, what makes her feel bold and alive. I think we have a responsibility to really talk to our kids. There's a lot of information out there, and they can easily get the wrong information, and that information can grow really, really quickly with the wrong influences and without their parents, without the positive influence that they need. It is not just me and my husband. It is my community. So my sisters, my aunts, her aunts who share and talk, and I tell everybody, listen, we got to do this together. She's a teenager trying to figure out her way in front of a lot of people with a lot of opinions being compared to her parents quite often, which can be really, really scary. But there is purpose and passion and dreams and desires in our young people, in our teenagers, in our children. And we have to make sure to train them up in the way they should go. So when they are old, they will not depart. They're gonna spaz out a little bit in their young years. Doesn't mean they'll be totally lost, but they'll hit their own brick walls. I remember my mom telling me that some brick walls you have to hit, and I can't stop you. But I will be there to put a Band-Aid on your head when you bump your head, because you're going to make some wrong choices. But it is our job as parents to put as much in our children as we possibly can. Pray over them, cover them, teach them affirmations to speak over themselves, remind them that they are loved and that they are God's and that they are called and chosen. Yes, even children in church get lost in the shuffle sometimes. Many children in church get lost in the shuffle, and they learn how to fake it too. They learn how to keep going. They learn how to say praise the Lord even when they're broken and dealing with depression and all types of issues. I love, love, love talking to teenagers. But what I love even more is being able to pour into them. And we got to do more. We got to do better. We can't complain about millennials and young people and not do the work. Because we're supposed to be raising them, not TV, not internet, not shows, not music. We, the adults, the ones who've been where they're trying to get, the ones who have gone down those roads of brokenness, the ones who lost friends and realize that you don't die just because you lose a friend, that you will not lose your mind just because a boy don't like you no more, you know? And so as we learn to have passion, but have patience with them, to talk and then let them talk, to listen sometimes, we build relationships and they can grow beautifully. So let's make sure we're spending more time with our teenagers, all right? That is my Ericaism for the day. Probably a big passion of mine because I have a teenager. And then Tina has a teenager, and then my other cousin has a teenager, and we're always on the phone and trying to figure out how we can nurture them, love them, raise them, mentor them, pray for them, teach them to pray. You know, so they grow to be wonderful women, fearing the Lord and trusting God. It's Get Up Mornings, y'all. That's the Ericaism for the day. I love you and I mean it.